The COVID-19 pandemic has had a massive impact on all of us, and in so many different ways. We've seen large international companies close down, large-scale layoffs and redundancies announced, and serious concerns expressed about the future of retail and the high street in general. But what has been the impact on local businesses here in Kirklees, and how are they adapting to the post-COVID business world? Here on the business programme at Kirklees Local TV, we're working in partnership with Kirklees Council to find that out and share experiences through talking to local businesses. It's therefore a pleasure to be able to chat today to Janet Bebb of Honley-based Social Progress to explore how they've experienced and are adapting to this changed new world. Janet, it's good to see you. And can I start asking you to quickly tell us a little about Social Progress and what you offered before COVID-19?
Yeah, sure. Good to see you again, David, and nice to chat. And so, yeah, Social Progress, we've been around for 8 years, just over 8.5 years. And primarily we offer social media training and social media account management. So basically, if there's a business out there that doesn't know how to use social media and wants to understand how to use it themselves, we can train them how to use it. Or if they've got no desire to do it themselves, but they just need somebody to help them with social media, then our team help with that. So we manage the social media on behalf of clients. So that's in a nutshell what we do. There is other things that we do on the side of that, but that's our primary business, if you like. So yeah.
So how have you adapted in order to survive over the last few years? What are some of the biggest challenges that you've overcome?
So for us, we've been fairly lucky in that, because primarily a lot of the things that we do is online, it wasn't such a big challenge for us to adapt. The only thing for us was literally picking up the kit that we use, so our laptops, we use dual screens, so our screens, and taking those, into our own homes, if you like. So all the team have gone home. We did that from the 16th of March. So that really wasn't such a big challenge. We have a VoIP telephone system, so if the phone goes, it'll because it's my office number that is now at my home. So, but the thing is, there's so many easy ways to work, anywhere you like. So for us, it wasn't a big challenge. The biggest challenge for us, I would say, is probably this. So I've always stayed clear of doing online training. Why? I'm not keen on delivering training through online channels for a couple of reasons. One, if you're doing it as a webinar, you're not getting that feedback that I get if I'm stood up in a room full of people, and you'll assimilate with this, David, being a trainer yourself. You understand what I mean. It's like when you're doing a webinar, it feels very like you're talking at people, not with people. So for me, that's something that I'm not overly keen on. I can do it, just I'm sure you can, but it isn't something that I get the same buzz out of, let's say. And then the other thing for me, particularly with the social media side of the training side of things, we find that people that come to us for training, not just are they not savvy with social media, but they tend to have lower technical skills, and so for them using technology just even to do the training sometimes is a bit of a challenge, just getting themselves onto something like Zoom. Some of it is confidence, but we try and get over that as best we can. So it's not that it's not doable, and I have done some training already since we've been in lockdown on a one-to-one basis through Zoom, but it's just those are added barriers, if you like. So, but it's not that they're not doable, it's just finding ways to adapt to those changes. So yeah,
crucial thing, it's you and I finding ways to adapt, but people as well, in terms of learning new skills and that ability to sort of communicate remotely as opposed to communicate in a shared office environment, is something that people are going to have to take on board.
Yeah, the one thing that we've done in terms of our team is make sure that we keep connected. So we have a WhatsApp group that we're chatting away each day through WhatsApp. So we'll send quick messages that way. But we also have where we've got 2 regular catch-ups per week, and they're not specifically a business meeting as such. They're just, how's things going? Did you have a good weekend? The sort of things that you would talk about if you're in the office, basically. So we don't have all the team, not all the team don't work full, they don't all work full time. So the first day that everybody's in, first day of the week is today, it's Tuesday, and we're on a Tuesday now. So we had a catch up this morning, and then we have another catch up on Friday. So, and it is just literally, it might be half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, just how's things going, anybody got any challenges. We do talk about work related things as well, but sometimes it's just, you know, it's just that general conversation that happens in an office, really. So
you sort of working collectively and keeping in touch that way. Have you worked with any other sort of businesses, groups, community groups, anything like that that you've engaged with on a wider perspective?
yeah, we've done some of the proposals that we've delivered through Zoom. We also, you might not be aware, David, but I'm a pretty active member of our Honley Business Association. So so we keep up to date in a very, very similar way. A lot of, when I'm talking to just if you class it as a leadership team, again, we're keeping connected through WhatsApp. And then every now and again we'll have a Zoom meeting just to go through a few bits. But then what we're also doing is offering support to the HBA members on a peer-to-peer basis. So what we've seen is there's a few businesses in there, you know, and some are doing really well, some are not doing so well. And what we were conscious and what we wanted to make sure that we did is support those members with some potential ideas. So we've started doing some just very, you know, low-key peer-to-peer group sessions where people can just come along and say, this is the challenge I'm facing, and somebody else might have the same challenge and somebody else might come up with a solution. So it's not about me finding all the answers, it's about us all collectively coming together to look at that. I'm also a BNI member, as you probably know, so I go to Business Network International, and that we found that it's not what we expected to see, but we've actually had 5 new members that have joined us since lockdown, and that is not what we expected. We thought we'd lose members, but actually what we've seen is we've gained members because people want to feel that connection with other businesses and feel that they've got that support around them, and learn from each other and support each other. So that's been great.
And that's one of the great things that's come out of this, isn't it, in terms of the build-up of community spirit, both in sort of local neighbourhood communities, but also in business as well. And it's great to see that taking off in Honley. I know the similar things in Honley, Lepton, and all around the town. And, you know, that's good to see. What sort of advice could you pass on? So you're obviously engaged with local community there and helping and give advice. What sort of general advice can you give based on your experiences and what you've seen with other organisations?
For me, what we've seen is the businesses that have kind of looked at their business model and kind of gone, okay, well, I can't do X, Y, Z, whatever it might be. But what can I do? So that mindset of, I might not be able to trade the same way as I used to do before, but how can I change things? And that change might not always be where they're getting an income from it. So if I can explain what I mean. So you might get a business that goes, and I won't mention any names here because there are quite a few that I've seen like this. They've kind of gone, well, I can't do anything, so therefore I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to sit back and wait until it's all over. You can't do that. It's not really we're going to come out of this in a different way. Every single business is going to come out in a different way. However, the businesses that have gone, actually, okay, well, how can I change and adapt? What can I do differently? It might only be short term, but I must be able to do something. So, for example, we've got Wired in Honley as a really great example. yeah, okay, they've got a small coffee shop that ideally they would have people coming in there buying coffee and cakes and stuff, and they're not able to do that right now. But what they have done is they've set up an online ordering system where you can order a cake, a box of cakes, and you're given a delivery slot, and you go and you pick up your cakes and you pick up your coffee, and away you go. Why? Well, one, they're getting some revenue from that, which is fantastic. There's no wastage in that because they know exactly what orders they're getting. And thirdly, they're keeping themselves, which is most important for me, in my head anyway, is they're keeping themselves in the mind of the customer so that when we come out of this, they are thought of. And actually, what we're seeing as well is people want to support those small micro businesses. And again, you know, Oliver at Wired told me a brilliant story the other week, and I won't tell you how much, but basically a guy who's only been in the shop twice gave him an envelope and he said, "That's for you, that's a tip for you." And it wasn't small change, let me say, but it blew me away, and it blew Oliver away, that actually people do want to support those businesses. If you're not there, they can't do that. So there's loads of other examples of things where, you know, if your customer service is brilliant to start with, it's not about your social media being brilliant, it's about your customer service being the base of being brilliant. But you can use social media as a way of pushing that forward, if you like. And that's what we've seen. We've seen some established businesses, some that weren't on social media, all having great results from using social media just to connect with the audience that's out there and stuff. So there are some, you know, some good things that you can do, but it is about not waiting until it's all over. It's just, you know, find ways to get yourself out there in front of your clients. You know, we're the same. You know, we've sat back and gone, okay, well, we've got some content going out, but we don't want to share another picture of us on Zoom. It's, well, actually, what can we do differently? Because if you go to LinkedIn, for example, and I'm sure you've done it, you know, every single, you scroll down your newsfeed and it's another Zoom, another Zoom, another Zoom, and it gets a bit boring after a time. So it's about finding content that is a little bit more inspiring in, you know, when people are looking on social media. Then there is ways of doing it.
And meaningful as well.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So great future ahead for you in a changed world. Are you confident, optimistic, excited?
That's a really interesting question, because right now, as you well know, we're doing really well. We've had more clients than ever before. We've seen 5 new clients come on board since we've gone into lockdown. We lost a couple of new clients at the start. A couple of those have come back and started working with us again. We're very much well aware of people's revenue, their income, their business models. We're not here to sort of capitalise on that. We're just here to work with them. However, what I would say is we don't know what's going to happen in the future. Another 6 months from now, and the economy could be absolutely, you know, worse than it is right now. We don't know how long it's going to take for those businesses to come back up. And it could be that we are here to support those businesses and everything's going along smoothly. But there's no way on earth that I'm going to sit here and just take it for granted that that's going to be the case. It's a case of checking out what's going on with businesses, and some of those businesses, sadly, that are our clients, are potentially going to lose revenue, and as they do, they'll stop working with us. So we might have that knock-on effect, but it might be a bit of time after other businesses. But you know, it's one of those, you just don't know what's going to happen. We know we're in a good position right now, but we don't know what that'll be in the future.
I think that's it, isn't it? The lessons that we've learned in terms of being able to be flexible and to adapt and to change business models now are going to apply in 3 months and 6 months and 12 months time, as well as these sort of seismic changes come through. So far, do you think the world's going to change for the better?
Not necessarily. I think from a personal perspective, and you're probably the same. I don't know if you've got any family or not, David, but you know, for me right now, I would love to give my kids a hug.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing for me. And you know, I want that to be able to be the case moving forward. So you know, my head right now is we need to get back to something that is some sort of a normality in terms of personal interactions. How the business world will change. Yes, I think business world will change. I think it will be much easier to do a lot of things that we do online. You know, like I said earlier, we've done a couple now where we've done proposals where, in fact, I did the third one today, where we've delivered a proposal through Zoom. So I've shown it, shared my screen, showing it online, and you know, they've been able to see what I'm delivering. Normally we would have that as a face-to-face meeting. I'm not saying we won't have face-to-face meetings, but if that's an easier process for us, you know, 2 out of those 3 those proposals that I shared, straight away went, yeah, when can we start? So the process was so easy for us. We didn't have to go and deliver something. We didn't have to, you know, they didn't have to come to us. Me personally, and our business model is all about the relationship building, and it's only when the relationship is built between us and the client is when we get the best results for the client and for us. But so I can't see that not happening, but I do think we'll do probably a lot more through online channels, particularly through Zoom, to be fair. So I just think it'll make businesses work more smoothly. And I think the transition for a lot of businesses has been a lot easier than maybe a lot of businesses thought it would be, to be fair, if they're able to do that.
I think you made a very valid point there. It's about appreciating the important things in life, isn't it? Which is about sort of personal contact, about family, about love, and making that thrive.
Yeah.
Final thing, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
So, go to our website, socialprogress.co.uk. They can email us. So email is info@socialprogress.co.uk, or telephone number, which is 01484 506 336. And obviously, we're on every single social media platform that you can think of. So if you just go to any of the social media platforms and search for Social Progress, we will come up, so we'll be there, so you can contact us through any of those channels as well.
And it's been lovely chatting to you. All the best for the future, and let's keep in touch. And thank you once again for your time.
Thanks, David. It's good to see you as well, so thank you.
And for everybody else, until the next time, goodbye.